So what's today?
Today we're going to pick up our new Tesla.
Yay!
So this has been a while in the making for us. Our Tesla journey actually started in 2021, early 2021. We got interested in the Model Y, and back then we wanted to get the standard range, and that was available for such a short time, and by the time we went to buy it, we couldn't find it for sale anywhere. So later that year we ended up settling on the long range and placed an order in September of 2021, and it was over a year later, I think it was probably sometime in October of 2022, before our VIN finally came up and we were able to get it. But by then, we knew that the tax credit was coming out, and I think you had locked in your order at what, 56,000, and by then it had gone up to like 64 or something. So it was still a pretty good savings for us, but we wanted that tax credit, so we held out and we pushed off a couple times, and then finally they just ended up canceling our order on us. And I'm glad we waited, because as you guys know, the prices ended up dropping by like $13,000 after the first of the year. The tax credit was put into place, and then also out of Giga, Texas, they started building the all-wheel drive Model Y, a little bit cheaper than the long range, has the new 4680 battery cells. And so a few weeks ago, that's what we went ahead and ordered. So we're on our way to pick up our all-wheel drive Model Y from Giga, Texas, and it's in the what is it, the metallic midnight gray, or whatever, midnight metallic gray, whatever they call it.
Yeah, whatever the gray colors.
But with the white seats, so we did get that as an upgrade, so that should be pretty nice.
And actually, when I first placed the order, I did the black
In 2
seats.
miles, take exit 22 to merge onto Florida's Turnpike toward Miami.
So when I first put in the order, I actually did the black seats. I was torn between the white and the black. I didn't really know which color to go with. We do have a daughter. She is 5 years old, so I initially thought, well, I'll go with the black seats. It's probably safer since she eats in the car, plays, and all sorts of things. But then shortly after I placed the order, I had regrets about getting the black interior, so I decided I wanted to change it to white. And probably 2 days after I placed the order, I got a VIN for the black interior. So I had to reach out to Tesla to ask them to switch it to the white. So of course they ended up releasing my car, and I had to wait several weeks for the white interior to become available. So but we're excited.
Well, it's been a long time for us, so yeah, very excited. I've probably watched every Tesla video on YouTube.
Yes. I think he's probably watched over 1,000 at this point, so he should be well versed in the car, hopefully.
Yes. I know you're thinking every video is like, but you're like, but what about that random video my cousin Joey made? Yes, I've seen that one too.
Yeah, exactly. If you make YouTube videos on Tesla, he's probably seen your video.
I've seen it, yes.
Okay, so we are 10 minutes away from our pickup time. And I just got a text message from Tesla. It says your Model Y is almost ready for pickup. Check in with the Tesla advisor when you arrive at your delivery location. Once you are in your Model Y, review terms and accept delivery in the Tesla app to unlock and access your vehicle. So we are close by right now. So once I get there, I'll go ahead and I will accept the terms, and
Red light,
we will go in to see one of the Tesla advisors. I thought this was supposed to be like, you don't see anybody though.
Yes, I thought so too. It was completely like touchless. But no, we'll find out.
Yeah, I thought somewhere else it said that it was touchless too, but
yeah, I think one of the even messages we got a few days ago said it would be a touchless process.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we will see what happens. Hello. Yep. Oh, do you think it's that one?
Arrived.
Possible. That one there. don't know, there's a few of them.
Although we have to find all the white seats, so just park wherever.
Park here, I guess.
Oh, y'all, it's happening! It's happening! 2 years in the making. Count it. Ugh.
Well, let's get out and see if we can find it. All right, so let's see if we can find our car. Could it be this one? That one's got black seats. All right, that one back there has black seats as well, but right color at least.
Do they have it there?
It could be this. Yeah, could be that it's not out yet. It's quite possible because that's the only other gray Model Y I see, and it's got black seats as well. So
I guess we'll go in and
maybe we'll go in and see someone, as it said. So
once we got inside, we were able to check in and get ready to pick up our car. And then we were able to walk around the showroom a little bit and just check things out. This location has a partitioned off showroom that's divided from the back end where cars are brought in and prepared, and then new owners take delivery. So we ended up hanging out there for about 30 minutes, but they have a pretty decent area to just rest and relax where you can get coffee and water. You can see some of the floors that they have, or some of the cars they have there on the showroom floor. Check out the different models. They had a Model Y, Model 3, an X, and an S. They had an S Plaid, I think, on the backside just behind that partition that you could check out as well. But like I said, we waited around 30 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. A pretty comfortable area too. And also in that time, I was able to place an order for our mobile connector since we didn't actually order that at the time we purchased the car. While we were waiting as well, we were just looking through the back there where they were preparing cars and they were just waiting for pickup. And we were convinced that that one right there was our car that you see in the foreground, when in fact the one way in the background that you see there, I think, is the one that ended up being our car, because it ended up being picked up right next to that white Model 3. And so they were in the back there getting it all cleaned up and ready. As you can see here from some of these images, they had it opened up. They were vacuuming out, washing the inside and getting it all cleaned up for us.
like my heart rate right now is like
it's both exciting and scary, huh?
Now, after our sales rep that was there was able to take us out to the Model Y, we started our walk around. He actually also helped us out by getting the license plate on the back of it for us. And I highly recommend that you bring a checklist with you. I've included a link in the description to the checklist that we used ourselves. And so this is really handy because even though you've got a pretty good idea of probably what you want to check, it's always useful to have a checklist that you can follow by just to be sure you don't miss anything. Now, once we started our walk around, one of the first things I wanted to check out were the panel gaps, because I know we've all heard those horror stories from years ago where Tesla had some really big problems with panel gaps. Either panels would be too close together, gap too far apart, just uneven and didn't look good. But on this, everything looked really great, really nice panel gaps, very uniform across the car. A little bit of a section in the hatch where on the left side, the driver's side, it was a little tighter on that side than on the other for the trunk, but not that bad at all. And a little bit of an issue on the tail lights where on one side it was raised a little bit higher than the other, but barely noticeable, and so nothing that we worried about. Now again, as I mentioned, we'll include the checklist in the description, but just go over a few of the key things we checked. We looked at the doors. We checked all the doors on the inside and out, front and back, to make sure that all the levers open from the outside properly, all the buttons on the inside work. As well, you want to check the emergency releases. Now what I recommend for that is put your windows down all the way first before testing the emergency releases in the front door. That way you don't damage either the window seal or the window itself. While you're checking out those doors, you might as well go ahead and test the windows while you're at it on each of the individual doors, and then of course from the driver's seat, test out all of the windows and make sure those controls work as you expect. Now don't forget to check out both the frunk and the trunk on the car. Not only do you want to just make sure that they open and close properly, but you also want to take a look and make sure they have the included accessories. In the frunk, you'll find the tow hook. And if you look in the trunk, you should find not only a front license plate frame, whether you need it or not, it should be in there, but you'll also find your J1772 charging adapter. That'll be very important if you want to charge at destination chargers. And there'll also be free chargers that you might find in your area that use the J1772 adapter. Another important thing to do is carefully inspect the paint on the car for any kind of blemishes, chips, scuffs, or other marks. This is something, again, where Tesla used to have a lot of problems with years ago, but they've gotten a lot better in recent years. And our car was no exception. It looked really great. You may also want to bring a microfiber cloth with you so you can wipe off any marks that you see and just make sure that they're nothing more than superficial. We did see a couple things that were either just some kind of gunk that had gotten on the car, maybe something in the manufacturing process that we're able to just wipe off. In some cases, Jimena using her shirt to wipe them down, or we could just use our hand. But like I said, a microfiber cloth would be a good idea, just so you can help check those marks and just see if they're anything more than just a little superficial bit of gunk stuck on the car. One of the other important areas to check out is your seat controls. Not only in the front, both driver and passenger side, but also the rear seats. You want to check in the front and passenger side, make sure your adjustments work and you can move the seats forward, backward, up and down. On the driver side, make sure you can adjust the lumbar. Of course, that no longer exists on the passenger side. And then also in the rear, you want to check and make sure you can fold the seats forward, make sure the seats recline properly. And don't forget not only using those controls on the seats themselves, but then in the trunk area, you have releases so that you can fold the seats down, and you want to test those out as well. You also want to be sure you test out all the interior lights as well. This includes the lights in the front for the driver and passenger, but also those rear lights as well. The lights and the coat hooks, which are right next to them, you can check those out as well. Not only do you want to check out the lights that are your dome lights, but there's also the accessory lights like down on the floor and in the door wells. You also have the light the little puddle lights when you open up the doors. You want to make sure that those shine properly as well. Although I guess technically that's an exterior light once you open up the door. But check all those out and make sure everything is working as you expect. Now these last several items you can do right from the driver's seat. A few things that you might want to do is test out your wireless charging pads, make sure they work as expected, both on the driver's side and the passenger side. You want to test out your turn signals, turn your lights on and off, make sure everything works. If you have someone with you, maybe have them go and check out and make sure your brake lights are working. And then don't forget also to open up your charge port door. You can do that from the screen or open the butthole. And this one also counts as a voice control test as well. You should play a bit of music, make sure that's working okay, testing out your audio system. Check your air conditioner and heat controls. Make sure that works as you expect. And just one thing to keep in mind when you're testing the biohazard mode, we did notice on ours that there was some debris that got blown out of the vents. I'm guessing this is normal. It just seemed like little bits of the filter that are in there that came out, just some fibers. And I think that's really about it. I mean, there's, of course, a lot of other little details that you can check. Again, that list that we use will be in the description. One final thing, actually, on your drive home, before you can test out those autopilot controls, you'll need to keep in mind that you'll have to wait until it finishes the calibration. This really only takes about maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and then you can test out the autopilot features to make sure they work for you. If your car, as ours, you'd use a referral and it's coming with the full self-driving for 3 months, that's something, depending on the software version, you may not be able to try out right away. In fact, we were not able to because we have hardware 4. Since then, there is a release that's come out that is allowing us to do that. However, that may not be in your car at time of delivery. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe for more videos like this, and just let us know what you think.
Did you buy Tesla?
What? Who? Oh, now she's facing this way.
You buy Tesla? Do you buy Tesla?
Who bought a Tesla?
You?
What?
Is that what this is?
Do you may buy Tesla?
sold mommy's car and picked this
That's
up
why we sold
today.
mommy's car the other day. 'Cause we were getting this.
I love it. Now I can play the fart sound.
Yeah, you can play the fart sounds.